Welcome back, guys, to our playthrough of Pokemon Gold version. Holy cow, what an episode part 28 was, huh? My god, that was like the longest episode I think I've ever recorded on YouTube. I don't think I've hit like 3 hours in length, but 2 hours and 45 minutes roughly about is what that was. That is the longest recording I've ever done, and it took forever to get that up on YouTube. Like, I have got Google Fiber, and so like I can upload real fast, but YouTube has a processing like system that takes a really long time. It took hours for that to get up on YouTube. Uploading took a couple minutes, but like processing it, holy crap, that was a nightmare. But anyway, that video, while long, was filled with a lot of stuff. Like, there was a lot of things that we covered in that. So I talked about a lot of different topics while grinding out for a shiny Horsey, following the whole shiny Gyarados female opposing Pokemon that you want. Like, I don't know how to word it. Like, you get a shiny Gyarados male, and then you get the female version of whatever you want, and they breed and they have eggs, and then that passes on what is called the shiny gene among the community, and that spits out the Pokemon, the female that you want, the species of the female down. So I wanted a Horsey, right? So we had male Gyarados, female Horsey, that spit out eventually a shiny Horsey, and I got a shiny male one, which is on the team, which you can see right down there. And that took a really long time, and while it is like statistically factual that it is a 1 in 64 chance to get a shiny Pokemon from that egg, it felt like it took a lot longer for me. I didn't keep track of the eggs. I forgot, and that was stupid on my part. I should have had like a notepad or something where I kept track, but I didn't. I forgot to keep track. I lost count. I was like really tired. It took like a couple of days for me to get one. I don't know why it took me so long, but it took way longer than the normal 1 in 64. I don't know why. But I did it, and we got it, and it's on the team now, which I'm really excited about. But there's a few things I want to touch base on in that regard. So first thing, you'll notice the team has changed. I have a Noctowl on the team now. So I was grinding up the team a little bit, specifically Horsey. I wanted to bring it up to a reasonable level. And if you didn't know, Horsey evolves into Seadra at level 32. But Seadra evolves into a Kingdra, which is what I wanted, through the trade method while holding a Dragon Scale. I wasn't going to do that. So I touch base on this every single time I talk about the topic of trade evolutions, but I alter the games that I play to remove the trade mechanic completely from the game, so that way I can evolve Pokemon by leveling up rather than relying on a trade. So Kingdra actually is probably the most unique Pokemon in this sense, because most of the Pokemon, when you alter the games, most of the Pokemon up until like Gen 1, Gen 2, all the trade evolution Pokemon typically evolve level 30 something, 37-ish, right around there. Kingdra doesn't show up from Seadra until Seadra hits level 40, and then it will start to evolve into Kingdra. So it has like the latest evolutionary stage level-wise out of any of them. But I also realized that Growlithe was going to be sort of not a hindrance really, but I couldn't evolve it for two reasons. One, I wasn't going to evolve Growlithe into Arcanine even if I had the choice until it was at level 50, because that's when it learns Flamethrower. The other problem is I couldn't evolve it anyway, because you don't get a Flamethrower, or sorry, a Firestone rather, until after you get to region number 1, or number 2, I don't know, however you want to call it, Kanto, Gen 1 region. You get the Firestone from there. So there's no way for me to even evolve him, which really was annoying. So what I opted to do was I grinded up Growlithe. I used some like cheap tricks to get some experience boost, but I did get Growlithe up to level 50, and I decided, you know what, I don't want to have a level 50 Pokemon on my team, so I put him in the box. I got him Flamethrower and I put him in the box, and I'm just going to save Growlithe for the end game. I just thought it was like, I don't know, it was cheap how I leveled them up, but also like I don't want to, like I used like an item cloning method with rare candies, just because I was like, I don't want to spend time leveling him up just to learn a move and then not have him on the team. So I was like, I'll level him up and just move him out of the way, and then we'll get Arcanine later. But the other thing is too, is while this is one of the first times I think I've ever played a Pokemon game without having a fire type on the team, I needed a Pokemon that knew Fly, and part of me thought that maybe Scizor having wings would be able to learn Fly, but that's just not the case. So that's on me. Whatever. I don't know everything. But I leveled up a little bit on some of the Pokemon. I got my Noctowl. I got a male one and leveled it up, or a male Hoot Hoot and leveled it up. And then I got my Horsey up to, well, let's take a look. Let's look at it together. I got him up to level 38, and I'm going to evolve him into Seadra at 39, and hopefully he'll be able to do that in this episode, maybe. So as you can see, Horsey's at 39. It's going to take a little while to get that experience up there, but he'll hopefully get to Seadra by the time we focus on what we're doing in this episode, which is defeating Team Rocket from the radio tower. So Horsey's going to carry. And then I think I have one rare candy that I can just pop it on and get a Kingdra, but I don't know if I'm doing that in this episode. We'll see how it goes. But I've shifted some things around, added 2 new Pokemon to the team, Horsey as a shiny, which I think is so freaking cool. I love shiny Horsey so much. So we're going to deal with that. And I know where I have to go, but let's go ahead and talk to the Team Rocket here and focus on that. Pokemon, they're nothing more than tools for making money. Also, though, in the last episode, while it was super long, I'd be surprised if any of you guys actually watched that all the way through, because that was an incredibly long, it's an overwhelmingly long video of me, like, just doing a bunch of, like, you know, grindy stuff that was kind of boring. So to fill that all out, what I did was I went through some topics, and we sort of went on a deep dive going from YouTube to personal stuff, but we talked about a lot of things. And I think I was overly cynical about a couple of things, which I kind of regret. But I don't know, if you're interested, you know, go take a look at the video. It feels more like a podcast episode due to the length and everything, but it's neither here nor there. Worry about that stuff later. Am I going the right way for this? I feel like this should be, I think this should be getting me to the radio tower. But like, we talked about a lot of different things, and I don't know, covered a lot of bases. I just hope I didn't come across like an a-hole. Okay, so we're here where we wanted to be. Wait, is that not even, wait. Why would I want to be here? That guy's blocking the path. I forgot. You don't actually, I think, yeah, that's right. We need to take that path to get to the underground after we do the radio tower stuff. I forgot the radio tower is actually like exposed and we can get to it without rockets blocking it. But this is what we have to do after that. Because there's remember that room back there, that door that was like kind of a secret thing? That's a Team Rocket thing. So we'll worry about that after the fact though. So this is the radio tower. What do you want, you pests? Scram. All right, whatever. Let's pop in here. Hello, I'm sorry, but we're not offering any tours today. Okay, we'll just go inside and hopefully Horsey will take on, oh, that's right, first rocket. We've finally taken over the radio tower. Now everyone will get to experience the true terror of Team Rocket. We'll show you how scary we are. Yeah, there's a bunch of people in my Discord that have been talking about the breeding methods, the 1 in 64, the Pokemon they're going after, different techniques and strategies to get the shiny Pokemon they've been wanting. Horsey was a big one for me for the longest time that I really wanted. And while Horsey here is a higher level than this RATICATE, the lower evolutionary stage puts his stats at odds with a lot of the Pokemon we're going to fight, I think. So it'll do some damage, yeah, but see that? Didn't even take him out of the green. So this is going to be, it's going to be a challenge, but not a challenge. You know what I'm saying? Oh, goodness. Okay. Let's see. Whirlpool. Let's try Dragon Rage. How much damage is that going to do? Yeah, it's a pretty decent amount of damage, all things considered. For a RATICATE that's like 14 levels lower. Nice. Yeah, the leveling curve in Gen 2 is crazy. But, I don't know, when I was recording the last episode and how long it was, I remember just thinking to myself, actually, no, after it was done recording, I remember thinking to myself, man, like, I talked about a lot of things, and I want to have a positive outlook when I'm doing YouTube stuff. I want to be able to talk to you guys about anything and be open with you guys about my opinions, but the problem is like, sometimes I have, like, really negative opinions, and, like, I don't know, even though they're negative and people may not want to hear the negative, like, that doesn't mean they're not necessarily worth the consideration, at least. But too strong, we must watch you. But at the same time, like, I don't know, like, what, why would they want to take over the radio tower? I worry because, how boring. It was far too easy to take over this place. Come on, keep me amused. You got it, baby. Like, I don't know. I wonder if I hold back my, like, more cynical opinions on topics and stuff like that, does that make me fake? I think it does. I don't know how you feel, but I think it does. I don't think that someone should withhold their opinion just because it's negative, but at the same time, I also think that maybe people being, like, excessively negative, that's a harmful relationship. And I try really hard not to be excessively negative, but man, do I have some strong-ass opinions that I need to be careful about, you know? That's why, like, I don't want to talk anything about, like, any social topics on the channel. I don't want to talk politics. I don't want to talk religion. Like, none of that stuff even remotely interests me. We're Team Rocket, the exploiters of Pokemon. We love being evil. Scared? So, I don't know. If you ever bring up those topics, I'll probably... If I don't just, like, casually sidestep or change the topic, like, abruptly, I'll probably just be like, I'm not talking about that. I'll probably straight up say it. Or I'll just remind you guys that, like, hey, I'm just a person. I'm just a person online. And the fact that you choose to watch me doesn't make my opinions more valid than someone else's. You may disagree, you may agree, whatever. But I mean, I'm not special. Trying to adjust the mic so it doesn't look weird. Like, I don't think I have any unique opinions that are, like, worth taking to heart, you know? I don't know. I just don't want to... I don't want to be overly negative, but I also don't want to be fake by holding back how I really feel if I do have a negative opinion on something. Because I feel like I do a disservice to you by not being honest. And I don't want to do that, you know? But I also don't want to share too many thoughts if they're going to be negative, because I want to bring you down. I don't want to talk about things and make you feel bad. And I'm sort of in my head about the last episode because it was so long and, like, I don't remember what we talked about, but I do remember that I was like, you know, I ran my mouth about a few things, and I don't know. I was making fun of Louis Vuitton and Supreme. And then I had a little bit too much poop talk, so that was another thing that I did. Look, here's the thing. If you want to be my friend, I mean, let's be completely honest. There's no promises that you watching this and me will ever become actual, like, friends, because I'm just like some dude on the internet. But I try to at least, like, converse with you in the way that I would talk to my friends. Honest, straightforward, and lots of poop. And I have some close friends that, like, we text, you know, all day, and, like, well, you know, we all have those weird, like, relationships where you send goofy text messages to each other. Sometimes it's, like, really offensive things that you wouldn't want the public to see. Sometimes it's a selfie of you on the toilet. Like, there's just, like, it depends on the relationship you have with people, you know? And so it's like, you know what? If you guys are going to sit with me for nearly 3 hours, there's a pretty strong chance that I'm going to be talking some poop. And so that was the thing that happened. But enough about that. All right, Horsey. RATTATA. Okay, if it was a RATICATE, then I might swap out Horsey or use, like, a different... or get a Hyper Potion. Because, like, level advantage is the only thing that's helping me out right now. As I'm watching this, I'm like, Horsey is doing some damage, but everything is taking more than one hit. Yeah. I'm glad that Horsey isn't... or, that Whirlpool is an actual damaging move. It's like, Whirlpool is a mixture between Twister and Surf. I think we have a very good combination of moves as a Water Dragon type. Do you think you're a hero? Not really. But at this rate, he's going to become a, he is definitely going to become Seadra. Also, look at Horsey's sprite. That's so ugly, that fish. None of those sprites make any sense. Hey, hey, keep out of our way. I don't know, man. I'll always do my best to be real with you, you know. And if there's a scandal that comes out for me later, something like that, my poop selfies or something, you know, make the waves online, I'll probably lie and say it's not me. But it's like, look at the mole on his butt. Like, that's definitely him. I don't know. I just, I feel like it would be a disservice to you to represent myself in any way other than how I actually am. And so if I have a topic that I'm discussing, like in the previous video, that leads me to sound negative, I don't consider myself a negative person, but sometimes my opinions are a little bit strong and I have a heavy emphasis. Oh, it's multi-rounded. That's very useful. So, if there was a lot of negative stuff in the last episode, don't let that sort of feel like it's a summarization of my character. Because I'm going to do my best to make sure that I don't... Because, like, I don't have to share my opinions. But this is a one-sided conversation, right? Like, you're just listening and I'm playing, so I'm going to say stuff. But, I don't know. I was just a little bit self-conscious about the last episode. Not that it's bad or anything. I didn't say anything super mean. Like, I wasn't sexist. I wasn't racist or anything like that. But I feel like I felt like, what was I talking about there? Okay, so here's one topic that I talked about, is I was talking about how I feel like someone like me who likes Air Jordan shoes, I don't feel like 3 years ago, Team Rocket was forced to disband, but we're making a comeback here. I was talking about like people's clothing choices, and I was like, for me, I buy t-shirts that don't have any logos, like no logo on this. It's just a blank t-shirt, you know, whatever. But the only thing that it stands out in my wardrobe is my Air Jordan collection, which I'm not like a hype beast, you know. I don't really care about like cleaning my shoes and just laying them on the wall and whatever. I wear them because I just think they look cool, and they get dirty, and I leave it at that. Sometimes if there's like a little bit, like an excess amount of dirt or grime, like I'll clean them, but like I'm not going to scrub them and make like an afternoon of like organizing and cleaning my shoes. That's just stupid. But I was also saying, like, there are people that really like to have clothes that really are in your face with their logos. Louis Vuitton this and Dolce & Gabbana that and blah, 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 whatever. And it just seems really tacky. And I was just like, but I also remember like maybe there's some of you guys that are watching me that like that stuff, and that's fine. But I don't want to be insulting. Like, I don't want you to think because I don't like that if you like those sorts of outfits, you know, that I would like dislike you, or that I like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not picking on you. I don't mean to. It's just, I get a little bit passionate about my opinions, but like, if we were in person, I would never insult you based on the Dolce & Gabbana that you're wearing. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just wanted to make sure that it was clear, because I didn't want to be rude. I didn't want you to think I was being rude to you. I don't know, whatever. I should stop talking about it, but like, I get fixated on a topic and I feel like I have to talk it out so I can get over it. Otherwise I can't move on. So, in that sense, you're just gonna have to forgive me for bringing up old stuff. But anyway, this muck is going down and we're getting our freaking Seadra, baby. Also, I really like that the GIF, yeah, I said GIF, next to Horsey. I really like that. I think that's really cool. Horsey was poisoned. Does he, as a dragon type, does he have any sort of like benefit of shedding? No, I think maybe that's paralysis. I don't know. Does he have any way to get out of poison? Like, does poison heal over time for Horsey? I don't think so. I thought some Pokemon had that feature or that ability. But shed skin, maybe? No, that wouldn't be a poison thing. Bye-bye, Horsey. We barely knew you. Love you, though. Horsey's like one of the best Pokemon ever. Ooh, Kingdra looks freaking sick, though, doesn't he? I love that, dude. Seadra, I think Seadra's sprite in this one might even be cooler than Kingdra's. Okay, so let's go ahead and change that as well. I feel bad, though, because I really freaking like Horsey's sprite. Okay, and then I'm going to move him over just a tad and resize him because I don't want it to interfere with the... Actually, that works. The shiny sprite overlays it. So yeah, okay, that looks good. Cool. Sweet. Kingdra, baby. Shiny Kingdra, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, right, the poison. Whoops. Let's heal up. Okay, now Seadra is going to kick the crap out of these guys. I've been given strict orders. I'm to crush anyone who challenges Team Rocket. The stats that Horsey has weren't bad, but the lowest level in the evolutionary chain mean that it didn't have the strength, obviously, that Kingdra would have, or that Seadra rather would have, and then Kingdra ultimately after the fact. That's pretty cool, dude. I was actually trying to find that animation, that round animation for it, and I was going to use that as a GIF, not a GIF, a GIF. As the shiny sparkle over there, but one, I thought it might be a little bit too bright, and two, I actually didn't find a transparent background one. It was all a black background with the animation, and I could have looked into editing it, but I was like, that's going to take a lot of work. I don't really care to do that, whatever, so I didn't even bother. But I do think this one is sort of like, it's not distracting. Like, you can watch the video and it's not too distracting. I also want to point out that while I have Noctowl on the team, I don't actually plan on using it in battle very much, mainly because I just it's here to help me like travel. It's not here as a battler. I have this weird hair thing that sort of like bends down and it like sticks out in like a weird Widow's Peaky type way. Anyway. But yeah, man, the last video was just such a long doozy, dude. And I feel like, though, for the length of the video that I had in the last episode, it, like, while it was a really long episode, I felt like I was able to sort of, like, maintain a lot of conversation. I think, like, maybe towards the end of the video, close to maybe the last 10 minutes, that's when I was a little bit more quiet, because I'm like, God, I've talked so much already. But I don't think it was, like, I don't think it was a bad job. I think we talked quite a bit. I think it is an entertaining video enough. But one of the reasons why I didn't want to fully edit it was because I was like, I wanted to make sure that you knew what you were getting into if you were grinding for a shiny through the egg method. And the one thing I didn't know ahead of time was that depending on the species or the family of Pokemon that you're going after, so for me, I was going after the Horsey family, the eggs weren't consistent. I always thought that there was like, okay, you take 500 steps or whatever, and then the daycare will give you an egg, which I was like, okay, that makes sense. That wasn't the case. There was a good 10 minutes of back and forth, thousands of steps on the bicycle, and I didn't get an egg at all, not one. And that's why it took so long, I think. And then there was also too, when I finally got the egg, it took over 2,000 steps to hatch it. And that was crazy. To trainers, Pokemon are their beloved partners. It's terrible how Team Rocket is trying to control Pokemon. So but we got it, and I'm happy about it. I love the palette on these guys. It feels great ordering Pokemon to commit crimes. That's like one of the best lines I've ever heard. But I don't know. I don't know if I would do it again. I don't know if I would grind out another one. Maybe if we do another Gen 2 game, I would consider it, but I don't want to do it again for this playthrough. That was so painful. I also found out too that legendaries weren't shiny locked until Gen 4, I think. So like if I wanted to go after the legendary beasts to be shiny, there's a chance they could be. Same with Ho-Oh and Lugia. I did hear though that the legendary beasts in particular, like for them to be shiny, it's determined before you release them or something like that. So like if they're not shiny now, which is like most likely, it's almost impossible for them to be shiny based on the rates. An unknown child wandering here? Who are you? So the chances are like I can't get a shiny version of the beasts. I won't know until I run into them, but it's a pretty good chance that I won't. But I am so glad that we have things like Pokemon Home now, which allow you to transfer your Pokemon up. I was actually talking to someone in my Discord server about how to get, like, we were looking into a really effective method to move Pokemon out of, like, hypothetically, if someone were to hypothetically emulate a Pokemon game, how you could get them out of the emulator and move them up to Pokemon Home. And there is technically a way. There is a method of doing it if you really wanted to. Dang, this is a... Yeah, I figured that was going to happen. Paralyze me and confuse me. What a butthole. So there is a way. And I've always known that there was a way, but we were actually talking about, like, an active method that this person in Discord pulled off and did do. So we were... I mean, I wouldn't say he was successful in doing it, and, oh, come on. And I told him if I ever made an instructional video that I'd give him credit, and I certainly will. But I don't know when I'm gonna get around to doing it myself. I wonder if I can pull this off. We're gonna take a lot of damage here. This fight could lead to an evolution into Kingdra, but come on, dude. God, he's sucking, though. Magnemite is one of the most obnoxious Pokemon ever. Between Sonic Boom and Thunder Wave, it's just painful. Yeah, thank you. Pulled it out of the wind, baby. But, oh, that was close. But I do want to look into doing that because I think that would be a really fun video to do, and I also think that we could... It would be very interesting to cover all the topics of the emulation setup, how to export your Pokemon out, how to move them up to home. Because I think in the short of it, what we discovered is that you can take Pokemon like through emulation, move it to a physical cartridge if you have like the cable connectors for it, and then put the cartridge into like a GameCube or something, or put it into like it depends on what cartridge you get. Not a GameCube, because that would be a disc, but like a DS or a 3DS or something like that, and then you can move that up to not Pokemon Home. What was the other thing that they had before? There was before Pokemon Home, there was another Pokebank. That's right, which I still have. You can move that up there, and from there you can go from bank to home. I have to look into that because I have a 3DS over here that has like specifically Pokebank connected to it. I thought Pokebank might have been disconnected or discontinued, but it might still be active. I'll have to look into it. But I think there's some interesting stuff that you could pull off there. I remember though, a long time ago, Heart Gold and Soul Silver days, I had the physical card. I still have my original Soul Silver in a box right over here on my display shelf. All the inserts, the Pokewalker and everything, all that stuff originally. I took you too lightly. Nice, we're finally gonna get this. Yeah, let's go ahead and populate that. So pretty. The purple's a little muted, but it does look good overall here. I'm gonna go ahead and move you there. Nice. Purple team, baby. Kingdra, that's what I'm talking about. Kingdra trying to learn agility. No, I don't care about that. Yeah, now you guys are all in real big trouble. Okay, let's save it for sure. But back in the Soul Silver and Heart Gold days, there was an app that you could get on the iPhone that was amazing. And I think it was like 99 cents or something, but it was a Pokemon app. The Team Rocket boss has locked himself in, but the director can open it. He's up on the 5th floor. Please save him. And what this app did on your phone is it connected to your local Wi-Fi, and it allowed you to do a local mystery gift. You plan to rescue the director? That won't be possible because I'm going to beat you. And so what you would do is you would use the app and you could create any Pokemon that you want. And with any move that you wanted it to learn, but like obviously you'd want it to be as legit as possible. So you'd set like the trainer ID, the level that you caught the Pokemon, where you caught it, what moves it knows, what level it's at, whether it's shiny or not, the EVs and IVs, all the values and everything. And you can create like the perfect army of Pokemon. And then you could have it be set as a mystery gift on your local Wi-Fi from your phone. Send it directly to your DS games. 3DS, DS games, 3DS games, and then you can send it up to Pokemon Bank, and then it would have to do the check to make sure they were real or not. But it was a magnificent app. I forget what the app was called. I wonder if those sorts of things still work. I bet there would be patches and stuff like that that are out there that address that now. But dude, I would love to have those Pokemon. I would do that. I would do that sort of cheating on my game, not for competitive stuff, but just for the purpose of like getting the team I want like real early would be really cool. But I would do it at low level so that way I could like level them up and everything and all that stuff. Hit him, hit him, hit him, hit him, hit him. Yo. Like I would love to get like an Alolan Raichu real early on in a game and like play through it as my starter, because I would swap my starter out for that. Shiny Alolan Raichu is my favorite Pokemon of all time, followed by Shiny Furret. I would do that. I would trade those two Pokemon in and just like put in like where I caught them and everything. Because a trainer ID I don't think even matters, because that's a unique number that there's no tracking system or verification for that. And your trainer ID doesn't follow you from game to game, console to console anyway. Yeah, get hard for me, Grimer. But man, that was just such a cool app. I had such a great team. I will admit though, while I was using it, like on my team, it did make the game a little boring because I had all the Pokemon I wanted like that. Just like bam, mystery trait or mystery gift, local Wi-Fi. Because you could like it was the same way when you went to GameStop and you had a local Wi-Fi like on the GameStop LAN, or yeah, it would have been the LAN. They had legendary Pokemon that you could get shinies of, and I think I still have some like on my like Pokemon XY, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. I have those. Most excellent. This radio tower will fulfill our grand design. I have those like still on the cartridges. I need to inspect those because I've only moved Pokemon to Pokemon Home from Pokemon Go and the Switch games. So I need to look in my earlier carts and see what shinies I have there, because I think there's probably a bunch of really good ones that are chilling, like level 100 Dialga and Palkia and stuff like that from giveaways and all that. I have to look into it. But like, obviously, you know, if those sorts of things are real or legitimate, they'll have to be verified. Conversion 2, huh? Into the steel type. Interesting. Like, there's a few Pokemon I think I got from Wonder Trades in Sword and Shield that were totally fake, like a level 100 perfect Ivy Pokerus Poipole shiny, but it somehow all the information, it passed the verification checker, and I was able to get it, and I could keep it on Pokemon Home, which I thought was pretty cool. You came to rescue me? Actually, let's do a different voice.
Is that what you were expecting? Wrong. I am an imposter. I pretended to be the real thing to prepare you for our takeover. Do you want to know where we hid the real director? Sure, I'll tell you, but only if you can beat me.
But yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot of cool things on my carts that I need to inspect. I have like all the Pokemon physical cartridges. And I've got some good stuff there. I gotta move into Pokemon Bank and see if I can retrieve them, you know? Let's mix up the team in the fight a little bit. So we got, whoa, Kingdra changed his sprite. I didn't realize Kingdra went from like a fish to like a, I guess it's a dragon. It's a little different now. Let's see how Iron Tail works. This might be a longer fight because we're only 6 levels above. Is that? Oh, okay, that did some good damage. Ah, Smokescreen will make it a little bit tough to make contact. All right, let's slam him. Yeah, I wonder, I gotta look into Pokemon Bank and seeing how that's all working, because I know that was something that was supposed to expire, but I think it might still be active. Let's look it up. I want to find out. Damn it, I was gonna change and I didn't. Okay, Pokemon Bank services will be available at no cost to players. With the discontinuation of the Nintendo eShop, the Nintendo 3DS Family System Pokebank service for Nintendo 3DS will become available at no cost. I did pay for that, but now it's free. You'll still be able to transfer the Pokemon you deposit into Pokemon Bank to Pokemon Home even after the paid service is discontinued, and you'll still be bringing Pokemon into Pokemon Bank from compatible titles. However, you'll need to be enrolled in a paid Pokemon Home plan to do so, which I am. That's fine. On March 27, 2023, Pokemon Bank's passes will no longer be offered for purchase, at which time Pokemon Bank and Pokemon Poké Transporter are no longer available for download. On the same day, trainers will be able to start using Pokemon Bank at no cost. That's weird. So you're saying that yeah, you can use it for free, but it won't be available for people. Oh, paid passes. Sorry. Pokemon Bank's paid passes no longer be able to purchase, which pays. Yeah, I got you. Okay, the same day trainers. Okay, so never mind. I misread that. Okay, this is BS. What is happening here? Let's mix it up. Espeon, take this dude out. Pokemon Bank will no longer be able to... Oh, interesting. Pokebank and Poké Transporter will no longer be able to download. On the same day, trainers will be able to start using them at no cost. Be aware that there are no refunds for paid passes. Okay, so they're basically saying that, yeah, it's free, but you can't download it. An in-game free trial message allowed by a line that says blank days 099. This can be ignored. No end date planned for this no-cost service. Any further changes will be announced in advance at Pokemon.com and elsewhere. Okay, so basically it sounds like you can't buy anything for Pokemon Home and Pokemon Bank and Transporter now. They're free to use if you have it, but you can't download it anymore, I guess. Something. That was my takeaway. But, all right, let's go ahead and finish this, shall we? Wrap it up. Come on, dude. How are you guys not strong enough to finish these guys in one hit? Oh, dirtbag move. How much damage is that going to do? Okay, not much. That's good. I'm not going to use Noctowl, though. We'll go through everyone on the team except Noctowl. I just don't care to use it as a team member. Even though it's listed down there, it's not really interesting to me. Let's Thunder Punch this bitch. Bam, baby. Ah, oh, come on. I'm tired of this. I want these to be one... Like, I want it to be a one-hit KO, but it's just not working. Just punch him again. Nice. Alright, and the last one, is this a WEEZING as well? No. So we'll change it, and we'll go back to Kingdra. Yeah, Kingdra's got a weird sprite now. Later generations, the sprites, I think, the overworld sprites and the in-game, or the in-menu or whatever sprites, match the Pokemon more accurately, I think. I think Gen 3 starts doing that. I'm excited to get to that again someday. We already beat Emerald. I already have an Emerald playthrough up in the channel, but I wouldn't mind going back anyway and playing Ruby and Sapphire. I don't know, I kind of got through the remakes a little too quickly. Okay, I'll tell you where he is. Different voice now. We stashed the real director in the underground warehouse. It's at the far end of the underground. But I doubt you'll get that far. Cool. Alright. Alright, so now we're going back and we're going through... Oh, let's go ahead and... I need to heal up as well. First, let's go ahead and do an antidote for... Was it Espeon was poisoned? Yeah. There you go. Yeah, the team needs to be healed up, and Kingdra needs to get his power points back up. Yeah, there's a bunch of Team Rockets down there, too. This is such a huge thing. Oh, damn it, wrong way. You go to the nearest Pokemon Center. For show, baby. I'm kind of excited to see what I have on my old carts. I know, like, I used to do legitimate EV and IV training through breeding and, like, passing down abilities and stats and everything, and I had, like, almost perfect individual values for, like, Alakazam, Tyranitar, Gyarados. Like, I had a bunch of Pokemon that were stacked. Because I was telling myself, like, yeah, you're going to get into competitive, you're going to do this and this and whatever, and I got, like, super invested in doing it, and then I never did. I never once played competitive, not once. Once I got the Pokemon, I was like, I'm over it, I don't care. Alright, let's get to the underground. We gotta go up to go down. This is where we were in the beginning of the video. Here. Alright. Okay, and that's the door. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and save it here, and we're gonna go through this portion of the Team Rocket takeover in the next episode of the playthrough, just because we're at that time it's a little long and this is kind of a different area, so I figure we'll split this up. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Pokemon Gold and hearing me out. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode. If you did, you can show your love by hitting the like button. Do not forget to subscribe. Any feedback for me, leave it in the comment section. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Also, don't forget to take a look at the description box. There's some links that might be of interest to you, one of which is a link to the Marcanine community Discord server. If you want to be part of that group, you can chat with me directly. There's also a link to geekoutpost.com, an entertainment media blog I own, operate, run, manage, design, and write for. It's a decent place to stay up to date on the latest entertainment, gaming, news, reviews, and rumors if you're into that kind of thing. Otherwise, just know that I appreciate you and your time, and I hope to see you when we continue with more of our playthrough of Pokemon Gold. Alright guys, this is it for me. Take care, be well. See you later.